Hey creeps, welcome back to Cryptic Cauldron. So I know it's been a few weeks, close to a month, but I did want to go through some things. A couple of things that I just recently got, and then a couple of other things that you can get right now on Amazon or eBay if you're starting to collect weird little monsters stuff. So before I get into it though, I did want to propose something to think about. I was thinking the other day about what is it that determines your fandom, and what is it about anything that makes you say, oh, I'm really passionate about this, or I really like this thing. I was thinking about it for horror, specifically for me, horror or the occult or the macabre, whatever you want to call it. What is it about it that is so interesting? What is it that keeps me going to these horror conventions? What is it that keeps me wanting more of these collectibles? What is it that keeps me reading about it or watching these movies? And then to add to that question, is the amount of things you have, is that what determines your fandom? So, for example, if I have more Dracula figures than anyone else, am I the biggest Dracula fan? Is that what determines my fandom? So start to think about that, because I actually want to tell you that no, that's not what it is. So just because you have the most of something doesn't make you the biggest fan of that thing, I don't think. But I'm not sure what does. So think about that. Think about what is it that makes us big fans of whatever we're big fans of. It's something to think about. So anyway, I'm going to start with a couple things that I just got in these last few weeks. One is this little wind-up toy. So I couldn't decide if I wanted to hold this one off for a Frankenstein video, because it's sort of what they were going for. He's got these bolts on the side of his head. They were maybe trying to go for this Frankenstein, but he also has this very Maba zombie kind of look. So this is a wind-up toy from, let's see if it says on here. Oh, it says made in China. So, but I love the colors. You know what it reminds me of? These colors remind me of Goosebumps. Don't they remind you sort of Goosebumps? Those colors, that vibrant green and that purple. Very Goosebumps-like. I love that he's got his hands in his mouth like that. Or sort of like he's forcing a smile. Maybe he can't, because he's made of dead bodies. But and then his ears are very interesting. They decided to do these sort of pointy ears, sort of like an elf. It's kind of weird. And then the stitching that he has is across, sort of like it's into his hairline. It's in his hairline, which is really weird. Really interesting choice for that sculpt. But it's a cool figure. So that's one thing. Since I'm showing you a wind-up toy, I wanted to show you another wind-up toy. This is something you can get on Amazon right now. But if I could, I would post wind-up toys in every single one of these videos. I think they're a lot of fun to show on camera. Isn't that great? Oh, look, he got him going for a second. Let's see if we can do this. Deep down inside, I'm just a kid. But I think we all are. I think we're all kids. Okay, so let me set these aside. Ooh, that one's not gonna... There we go. Okay. Now, let's start with the stuff I was talking about. These are things that you can get on either eBay or Amazon right now for cheap. So these little guys, these come from China. These are made in China. And see, the back has these little spots for you to put your fingers in. And I just love these, man. You can make all kinds of weird faces with these. I mean, they're so much fun, and they're like $4. It takes a while for them to get to your house, but I have seen these before on Amazon. But these things get out of stock real quick. So if you get on eBay and you just put Monster Finger Puppet, you'll find these guys. They come in this pack of 4. And you'll get them eventually. You'll lose hope maybe, like I did. But you will get them. They're a lot of fun. I can't hold them up and show them all at the same time. I can't do that. But I love anything that has any kind of puppeteering quality to it. Any figure that has the ability to puppet, then I'm gonna love it. I mean, look at that. That's great. Look at this one. Did I already show this one? I mean, isn't that great? I don't think I showed this one. I mean, you can stretch his face out, make him look like he's looking to the side. See? But yeah, these are great. Like I said, you can get these on eBay. I've seen them on Amazon. They just sort of sell out and then they restock them weeks later. But I always see these on eBay. So get these. These are really, really cool. Let's put these right here. Now, Amazon does have these almost all the time. They're little finger puppets. They're like little zombies. They come in this giant bag of either a lot of these yellow ones or a lot of these gray ones. And they're very cool designs. They're very cool sculpts. Like this is sort of a vampire. I don't know if you can see that. This is more of a classic zombie. Or like an undead person. This is sort of like maybe an undead person or zombie. This is sort of a half zombie, half vampire looking guy. But these are a lot of fun. You can also get these sort of yellow ones. These are always cool monster faces. These are a lot of fun. And I think that one day these will be worth something. Or they'll just keep mass producing them like they've been doing for years. Now it's time to get fingered. We're going to talk about fingers. So I have this creepy finger. It's one of my favorite toys. Or, I don't know if it's a toy, but it's one of my favorite things I have. I guess it's a sort of Halloween gag or a prank. So it says, creepy finger, keep out of reach of children under 6. It's from a company called Loftus in Salt Lake City, Utah. And I love that they have the blood dripping down from the word finger there. And then they have these pictures of what you can do with it, how you can prank people. They have one where there's where you can stick it in a glass of water and maybe scare your friends with that. A lot of people have a fear of water. There's one where the finger's sticking out of a book. Maybe you can scare someone to death by putting in a book. Either that or you can use the finger as a bookmark, I guess. They have a picture where the finger is sticking out of an open door, a door that is ajar, and it's just sort of sticking out. And I guess that's supposed to be really, really scary. And then they have one that looks like it's just sticking out of a trash can. Now that's a funny gag. These are all funny. Let's see. I don't know what I would do with this, but I love the packaging so much that this little guy is probably never going to come out of here. They'll have to bury me with this because I'm not going to sell it, even though I'm sure you can find this. Since we're on the topic of fingers, I have a few more fingers. Well, I have a lot of fingers. Look at these. I got these like 1 or 2 years ago, probably from Spirit Halloween, and they were probably in a pack next to the zombie stuff because they kind of look like zombie fingers. But I guess they could be regular fingers that are sort of just decaying. So these are pretty great. And then this one is from, this looks like it might have been in a pack of fingers from like the dollar store, where they spray painted this purple drip that's supposed to be blood. I hate it when they do this kind of stuff. When they do this kind of stuff, this really makes me angry. But I know they're mass produced and they just sort of, they have these workers that aren't even thinking about what they're doing. And then they get made like that. This is a classic old school finger. You'll see this a lot on eBay. I've seen a lot of people have this in their collection. It's just a finger with a giant gash in it. Can you imagine having a cut like this on your finger? I mean, it goes from the nail, from the tip of the finger down to right there. That's a giant gash. That would suck. That would be so terrible. And I'm such a baby about cuts on my fingers. Here is another finger, and for this last one, this is one that nobody has in the entire world because this is a mold of my finger. It's actually this finger. And I made this out of silicone when I dressed up as Beetlejuice for Halloween. I needed a finger with a ring on it. The ring's not here, obviously, anymore. I actually don't know what I did with that ring, but I got a ring that sort of looked like the ring that Beetlejuice has in the movie on that finger when he's going to marry Lydia at the end of the movie. But I added one of those fake fingernails on there. So it's a pretty cool prop. I made it kind of bloody with maybe like a piece of bone sticking out of there. And it's bendy. I mean, it's made out of silicone, so it's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool finger prop that I made and that nobody on planet Earth has. So this is a one of a kind, folks, one of a kind. For a while, I stuck it in my saw case just to add some gore in there. But now I just keep it with the rest of the fingers. And I love telling people that it's a mold of this finger. Isn't that cool? If I grew my nail out, then it would look identical to this finger. But anyway, oh yeah, one more thing. This is the last thing. Bloody razor blade. Isn't that cool? Bloody razor blade. So this has a picture of a woman screaming in terror because you're supposed to use this as a sort of gag and make it look like you have a razor in your finger. And it's kind of effective. Look at that. Isn't that cool? You just add a little bit of blood on there. Do I have some? I might have some fake blood. Let me get some fake blood real quick and show you what that looks like with some fake blood on there. Okay, so what do you think? Does it look like I really stuck a razor blade in my finger? I think it does. I think it looks very realistic. Look at that. Look how nasty and gory. Lucio Fulci would approve. Look at that. Isn't that cool? Yes. So, that's it. I hope you enjoyed this episode. See you next time.